Hello viewers, I'm Ron Grant coming to you live and direct from Tortola in the Virgin Islands. You're watching 284 Media. Thank you so much for your time. We had two representatives, of course, in the person of Stefan McTavius alongside the lovely Danielle Hodge, who represented the Virgin Islands Youth Parliament at the 11th Annual Commonwealth Youth Parliament held in Trinidad and Tobago from November 20th to the 24th. Now, of course, they were debating a number of issues. We're going to get into that, but we are so proud to have these two amazing young persons who have contributed to the narrative and, of course, keeping the Virgin Islands Youth Parliament alive. We'll be right back after a quick commercial break.
Yo, everything good there?
Aye. This thing got me one way, daddy.
What you mean?
Ever since I hook up with this thing, can't eat, I can't sleep. This is the first thing I touch it when I reach home.
What you really? Hey, this thing like you know.
Dad, this thing got me staying home. Keeping out that trouble me.
Wow. What your name is?
Shit. I talking about my CCT life.
Don't worry about missing your favorite series, sports, news, and local programming. Come to CCT today and sign up for CCT Live to access over 80 channels. CCT Live. Bring it home.
1 month free trial turn into 5. 5 months turn into, well, you know I huff. I watching ball. I been watching football. Dad, Nickelodeon, Paw Patrol. I am hooked. Hook, I tell you.
Viewers, welcome back and thank you so much for sticking with us. I'm Ron Grant and you're watching 284 Media out of Tortola in the Virgin Islands. As promised, I'm joined by Mr. Stefan McTavius alongside the lovely Danielle Hodge. You guys, welcome to the set. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much for having us.
It's an absolute pleasure. Now, November 20th to the 24th, both of you represented the Virgin Islands Youth Parliament at the 11th Annual Commonwealth Youth Parliament in Trinidad and Tobago. We're going to get into that amazing experience, but I have to ask you, what has your experience been like so far being a part of the Virgin Islands Youth Parliament? Beginning with you, Ms. Hodge.
My experience being a part of the Virgin Islands Youth Parliament so far has been rather fruitful. My initiative behind why I began my new parliamentary career was because I wanted to be able to bridge the gate, be a gateway for others, help connect others, networking, and to address social issues. And I thought that being a part of the youth parliament was a perfect way to excel in that.
And do you think that mission is being accomplished so far?
Slower than I hoped,
okay,
but step by step we're getting there each day.
Beautiful. And Mr. McTavius, what about you?
Well, so far, everyone by now would know that I'm very much involved in the community. As of course being the founder of Dream Big Group.
Yes.
And many other different social groups within the BVI.
As well as very active within the 5th District community.
Yes, definitely. Politics for me have been something that I've grown into, from since young. And honestly speaking, the Virgin Islands Youth Parliament has been that gate, not only for myself, but for every other youth within the territory to be able to lend my voice to speak on behalf of them. I often say that, I come in here and I speak for the voiceless. So far the whole mission behind the Virgin Islands Youth Parliament has been powerful, especially coming into the last debate. Of course, there's a lot more things that could be done, but seeing that we're coming to last year or tenure next year, we hope that, going forward, we will be able to at least add some more weight as it pertains to the future of the Virgin Islands Youth Parliament.
Well, I'm happy that you mentioned that there is much more to be done, and of
Yes.
course, putting into perspective that the tenure for both of you, alongside your other colleagues, will come to an end. I would honestly say that we are very happy, I think, and proud that the Virgin Islands Youth Parliament was able to come back on stream.
Yes.
Whether or not you guys have been visible enough or active enough, one debate we would have loved to see a lot more come out of the unit. But I do want to take the opportunity to commend you and your remainder of your colleagues. Now, the 11th Annual Commonwealth Youth Parliament held in Trinidad and Tobago, a beautiful location. You both were among some 53 Commonwealth members, including the BVI. What was that experience like?
You want to go first?
Sure. Well, how should I start that? It was quite impactful. It was quite energetic. I would say that Trinidad have taught us a lot
Okay.
and have left us with a lot. Just the relationships and networking. Every one of us have become a family now. We always keep in contact and everything, but just the level of professionalism and there's a seriousness of parliamentary and and how just other jurisdictions really handle Parliament was something to really see. And from the night we got in, it just has been constant meetings up until 1-2 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
Just prepping and caucus in the mornings, and then house, and then not only that too, down here with our House of Assembly, start time sometimes is not the start time. So they would say
sometimes
probably,
it never starts.
Well, that's true. In Trinidad, we was told that we
very-
have to be there on time, otherwise it will start without us.
Beautiful.
That's why every single sit-in started exactly on time.
Amazing.
Yeah, but the experience was definitely an incredible one.
Nice. Ms. Hart?
To expand a bit on what Stefan said, it definitely was very impactful. They had our day planned out from morning to night. So it was wake up, go to caucus, go to house, go back to caucus, get ready for a social,
Wow.
go back to caucus, go sleep, wake up, go back to house.
Very rigid.
Very
Okay.
rigid, but we still was able to have fun along the way. I'm very grateful for all the networking that we have made. We've met with persons from Sri Lanka all the way to Gibraltar, all the other Caribbean countries that are part of the Commonwealth. And as Stefan said, we're basically like a family now. We check in with each other. We tell each other about all of our things that we have going on in our respective countries, and we stay rather abreast. And it was a great experience, being able to see how other jurisdictions and other countries experience Parliament, just in how other persons tackle the debate in itself, how they would interpret what the bill was supposed to mean and how they decided to express their views. It was very wonderful to be a part of that.
Amazing. So explain to me the individual roles. You were on the opposition and then you were in the government. Explain to me exactly what roles you played.
So I was an opposition member. I didn't have a title. I was a backbencher.
Okay.
And I'm originally on the opposition in our youth parliament as well. So it was really easy for me because I had experience in opposing. The bill itself.
Yes, the bill that was being debated, remote work bill.
Yes. So in my presentation, I decided to take a stand. My approach was tourism-based, and that may be due to the fact that I'm actually in the tourism industry. So that may have had some impact on it. But the reason why I decided to take that approach was because this is actually a very big topic being discussed globally around a number of countries. And a lot of Caribbean countries per se is looking into remote work and all of that kind of stuff. And we are countries that are heavily tourism impacted. It employs majority of our community and whatnot. And I decided to take that approach to highlight some of the challenges that we have, because as much as we would like to believe that we're more modern than we actually are, we're not. We have a lot of room for improvement. And when these conversations come up and these bills are being discussed, you sometimes just need to bring persons back to the basis to remind them that, hey, this is where we are, and take that into accountability and not just try to look at where you're going. So
well said, thank you.
Yes.
Yeah. And Mr. McTavius, what was your role?
Well, Ron, I of course sat on the government side. Here as well in the Virgin Islands Parliament, I'm a government member, Minister for Transportation, well, Communication and Work. Sorry, that was changed. But yes, I actually, just for persons to know, I actually ran or compete, I should say, for Prime Minister within the Commonwealth Youth Parliament, amongst two other persons. I was unsuccessful, but I was appointed the Deputy Minister for Digital Transformation.
Understood.
All right. Now, with my focus on my presentation was more speaking from the heart, all right? Because of course, for persons who might have watched the debate, it was more breakdown of the legal and the, all those other stuff where persons might not really necessarily understand. So I had to bring persons into the life of someone living in Kyrie and Shikonia, that imaginary place. Just to feel, what we're feeling. And I think I, did a great job, really focusing on that. But the bill itself is something that definitely needs to be speak of a lot more, honestly speaking. And I did make mention of the on the United Nations level, it was something that was brought up as it pertains to having connectivity for everyone,
Yes.
as it pertains to the Wi-Fi and all these different things as a human right. But the bill definitely is something that we need to look at. And as I told my other colleagues and Daniel as well, coming from that 11 Commonwealth Youth Parliament, the question is, does it end here? Because a lot of times we as young persons, we come to these tables and the conversation just ends.
Yes.
We want to make sure that, our voice continues. So, a group of us from the 11 Commonwealth Parliament, of course, we stay in contact, but what we're trying to do, we're trying to at least start a foundation where
So
we're able
continue
to
these efforts.
inject monies
Beautiful.
and things into different youth projects in different countries.
I absolutely love it, and I am totally here for it. Stefan, you eloquently mentioned about your presentation, and viewers, I want to take a toss to, in case you missed it and did not get an opportunity, here's a clip of a piece of Mr. McTavious' presentation. Take a look.
For citizens to gain employment in our country. I'm sure that everyone in this room has met someone who has moved abroad because of the challenges we faced in Kyrie and Shakonia. Madam Speaker, just yesterday I met a young man who studied cybersecurity but has been desperately seeking a job for 6 years. Madam Speaker, this brought tears to my eyes, knowing that we have capable young people here in Kyrie and Shakonia with employable 24th century skills who have been unable to find work.
Viewers, there you had it. Quite an impactful presentation, Stefan, so congratulations on that. I have to speak because you guys were, and correct me if I'm wrong, you were accompanied by the Honorable Minister for Education, the Honorable Sharifi de Castro, am I correct?
Yes.
Tell me about the support leading up to the 11th Commonwealth Youth Parliament. What kind of support did you get preparation-wise? How did the local Virgin Islands Youth Parliament and the government of the Virgin Islands alongside the Ministry of Education in any way and the minister assist you guys?
Miss Honorable De Castro was a great help. I think she did look over Stefan's speeches as well. But after we did I sat down, got my thoughts together. She was so helpful in making sure that my points were clear and concise to be able to broadcast to everyone. And I was very appreciative of that.
Beautiful.
And of course, just to add to that, you asked a question about just the preparation and the help, the assistance that we received prior to, of course, leaving the territory. Well, honestly speaking, seeing that we did such an amazing job from the last debate, the help as it pertains to the preparation of our presentations, they kind of left it up to us.
Okay. Fair enough.
Which I think was
honest.
really, really good.
Okay.
Because then, just all that legwork that was done at that debate, then we're capable enough to
Absolutely.
really put together our document and not really overshadowed by someone telling us what to do.
Understood.
Of course, Honorable De Castro, she was a great asset to us, and not only us, but she played a huge role to the 11 Commonwealth Youth Parliament as well.
Because she was actually a mentor for the opposition party.
Beautiful.
So
Yes.
she was in caucus with me all those nights until 2 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
And she provided great support.
Which is something she's accustomed to.
She provided great support because when they would have their questions about, because it was with the Caribbean, how Caribbean politics is done compared to those on the Westminster scale. It's a bit different.
Yes.
So she was a very crucial factor in showing them that how you guys do Parliament is not necessarily how we do Parliament in the Caribbean, and that in itself was the glue to gel everyone together for these wonderful presentations.
Amazing. Well, I'm happy to hear that you guys enjoyed the experience, of course. We thank you for having represented the territory of the Virgin Islands. And
Thank
again,
you.
thank you for your work with the VI Youth Parliament. As it comes to an end, your tenure comes to an end, individually, where would you like to see the Virgin Islands Youth Parliament evolve to?
I would like to see the Youth Parliament evolve to an actual independent body where they're able to address the concerns of the youth, bring them to the forefront, and actually be able to act on their own and not have to seek guidance, if that makes sense.
Understood.
So it would be nice to see the Youth Parliament grow to something of that standard for future reference.
Okay.
I mean, I do share the same sentiments. Just coming back from Trinidad and just sitting down and really understanding how all the different youth parliament works within the different countries. Majority of them is a separate entity. And I think with that being like that, you give us a bit more flexibility to really operate as youth parliamentarians, youth leaders, and the free flow. Of course, we will still need some guidance here and there, because some of us probably might, say something or probably get a little hostile.
We can graduate to have our own advisors.
Definitely. but I would love to see it as an independent body.
Understood. Well, I have to go back to the bill that was discussed, the remote work bill. As a territory, how do you guys feel about the possibility of us here in the Virgin Islands not only implementing a bill of such, but just on the public and private front? What are your thoughts about remote working in the Virgin Islands?
I'm actually very big on remote working since we've all experienced COVID, and we've now been open to the idea that work is not just at an office, at a desk. You can do as long as you have internet, you can do your work. It would be nice for us as the BVI to be able to move forward to 4-day work weeks, digitalization of processes, and remote working. However, there is a lot of foundation work that needs to be done before we get there, and we should not try to put the cart before the horse.
Well said.
Yes, to add to what Daniel said, honestly speaking, I remember the Premier making mention of more focus or emphasis is being put on the tourism sector, especially with what's going on in the territory. I do think that is something that's necessary. Of course, not for all the different organizations. Of course, tourism, there's certain aspect where a person have to go into work to do certain things. But it's something that we all, I think, have considered at some point. Sometimes the 5 days a week, something could really take a toll on us. Yes, I think it's something once we really look at the bill carefully, put certain clause and then really make sure that every single entity understands it and it works for everyone, not just myself, but every single one.
Most importantly, once again, viewers, you heard it here first from the very talented Danielle Hodge alongside Stefan McTavius, who are part of the Virgin Islands Youth Parliament and so very keenly represented the territory at the 11th Annual Commonwealth Youth Parliament in Trinidad and Tobago, which was held on November 20th to the 24th, and they made up some 53 members of the Commonwealth. Thank you guys so much. Continue to do the amazing work that you're doing, and we look forward to more great things from you even after your tenure at the VI Youth Parliament has commenced.
Definitely, and just to add, Ron, and for persons watching who might be somewhat interested in becoming a member of the Virgin Islands Youth Parliament, I think definitely with us coming to, it's coming to an end for myself and Ms. Duncan and all of my other colleagues. Persons, especially young persons out there, don't sit back. If you have a voice and it needs to be heard, let's come together and let's make that happen. As persons say, and I always, echo, is that this is our time. This is our time to shine and to make sure that whatever decisions are being made in the best interest of the youth as well of these Virgin Islands. So, feel free to come. I guess you could, call any of us, chat with us. And let's see how you could be one of the next youth parliamentarians for the Virgin Islands.
Definitely. The future starts with us and no time to waste.
Amazing. Thank you guys so much, and do have a beautiful rest of the day. Reporting for 284 Media, Ron Grant. Bye-bye.